And now on Oprah Radio,
here's Gayle King.
You know, I lost Spencer in September. He was 15, going on 15. And I've had Simon and Sheldon and Jeremy and Christopher. I've had a bunch of dogs in my life. And this is the first time I've been without a dog for a very, very long time. And just the other day, favorite daughter Kirby and I were at a street fair. Did I mention Kirby and I went to a street fair on Sunday? And it was such a great day. And so many people were out walking their dogs. And Kirby kept saying, when are you getting a dog? And I said, Kirby, I'm still thinking about it, but it's different now living in an apartment. Before Spencer was in the apartment, I had a dog walker and all that good stuff. But my life is so hectic, so busy, I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Plus, I don't know about the pain of getting attached to a dog again. I don't know if I'm ready to do that. So while I'm thinking about it, Carol Bryant, she's the public relations director of Fido magazine and a dog lover, of course, of the highest order. She's here with some tips that we can all think about for a second. But Carol, you walked in with this gorgeous dog. Hello, Carol.
Hi, Gail.
And you walked in and I said, I have never seen a dog like that. He looks like a Cocker Spaniel. And you said he is a Cocker Spaniel. But honest to God, I have never seen a speckled Cocker Spaniel. What is that?
Absolutely. He's tricolor and he's...
Is that what they're called, tricolor?
Yeah, he's tricolor and he's got brown points.
Where do you get them?
Actually, you'll find them
like
at
him.
Shelters, breeders, rescue groups. They're phenomenal, the amount of cockers who need a good home.
So they're not, are they common?
They are. They are.
No, this breed. I know cockers are common, but is this breed common?
Absolutely. In the show ring, you'll see the party color.
Oh my gosh,
usually
she is so cute.
Yeah.
Number one, Spencer was chocolate. I always say that was my only copycat move that I've ever done of Oprah because I fell in love with her dog Solomon. I'm partial to dogs with brown noses.
Yes.
I like brown-nosed dogs.
Uh-huh.
Wonder why that is. Me with cinnamon brown and a dollop of caramel. But I love brown-nosed dogs. So I fell in love with her dog Solomon, and then I went on a search to find Spencer and got him from a breeder in Vermont. Mm-hmm. And you're sitting here with your dog Dexter, with a brown nose. He's white and brown. We will put his picture up on the website. But I think for a lot of people who lose a dog, do you find that many of us struggle with whether to replace? I've seen many people have this conversation.
Absolutely.
And is there an answer that's the right thing to do?
I think it's an individual choice.
Yeah, for sure.
I said never again, and this is my never again. And I really
How long has you had your other dog?
15 years, just like you, and
Whoa.
she was a cocker also.
And you said never again?
Right. And
what changed you?
My life, I wasn't seeing my friends that I would see in my dog circles. The things that I like to do, just what joys the dog brought to my life. I missed them. I felt like I grieved part of who I was died.
Uh-huh.
And so I missed the dog so very much, but I also missed who I was.
Uh-huh.
And there was a void that I always like to say there was a hole in my heart where it used to be whole.
Yes.
And he filled it again.
No, I always say, too, my schedule is so hectic. My life is so crazy. I just really don't have time. But I also know that you figure it out. You make time for things that you really want. I also do know that. And somehow with Spencer, he and I managed to work something out, even with my crazy schedule. But it seems to have gotten crazier. But another thing that's changed, I'd moved from a house to an apartment. And what do you say to people who have moved from houses to apartments with no outdoor space? I've hired a dog walker. Mm-hmm. I like big dogs. And everybody always says that it's not fair to have a big dog in an apartment. Do you agree with that?
It would depend on the breed, and even if it's a mutt, even thinking for someone in an apartment, a Great Dane is a nice choice.
In an apartment?
Absolutely. They tend to be couch potatoes. And so as long as you're willing to exercise them during the day, I have friends who have 3 Great Danes, and they live in an apartment.
In an apartment?
Absolutely. A boxer, who's actually a medium-sized breed. But that would be another one. Of course, the smaller dogs are always convenient, but you can do it.
Does Dexter want to get down? You can let him down.
Oh, I
if he
can?
wants. Yeah.
Okay, good. He's very nosy.
We like dogs here. You can. Dexter's struggling in the chair like, let me down, Mom, let me down. And Carol's trying to hold on to Dexter and have a coherent conversation at the same time.
Exactly.
Carol Bryant, It Cannot Be Done, at Fido magazine. And I also thought that it was very interesting that my eye caught, when we were walking on a street fair, I've seen a breed that I'm very attracted to, but I don't know much about. They're called Labradoodles. Do you think that those are good apartment dogs?
The designer dogs, as they're now calling them.
Designer dogs?
Yes, what used to be called
Sounds a little
mutts.
she-she-pushy.
It does, and what used to be called mutts are now mutt-agrees. I've heard people say designer dogs. I actually do think that's a nice apartment dog because in general the poodle isn't the big shedder. While the Labrador is. You have two characteristics of dogs that are going to take well to being alone for a while. But as long as you're willing to get them out and exercise them, at Fido Friendly we like to say leave no dog behind. And, you kind of have to sometimes leave your dog behind.
Leave no dog behind?
Yeah, that's our tagline.
So you must have gone crazy looking at the coverage in Katrina recently.
Absolutely.
It all came back to me. Number one, I forgot how bad those images were after looking at the 5-year anniversary. And they did a story the other day about dogs, about how many people had to let their dogs go. And they had a story about somebody being reunited with a dog. So if your philosophy is leave no dog behind, that must have been tough.
Absolutely. And I think of myself and having had to evacuate during a flood, and I
can't imagine leaving the dog behind. I really cannot imagine leaving the dog behind.
And I didn't. And I drove 4 hours to try to find somewhere that someone would let me stay because I had a dog. So it's a responsibility taking on this. Anybody who has a dog or has loved and lost a dog knows that. It's such a responsibility. It changes the landscape of who you are, but what you can do with your life.
Yes.
But the rewards are so amazing.
And what do you think? Favorite listeners who are dog people, 888-442-9535, 888-442-9535. I'm curious about, I know what dogs add to your life. A new study out says that dogs improve office productivity. Do you think that's true?
Yes, and that's why I work from home.
Really? I don't know about if I would want dogs running around the office.
I think you need to have a well-behaved dog and be the role model for why dogs should come to work. But people are less likely to call in sick. The camaraderie.
If their dog can come?
Yeah.
See, I think it's good if it's a couple of dogs. But not everybody has well-behaved dogs.
And
that would be my concern.
Therein the problem. Therein lies the problem.
Yeah, if you have a well-behaved dog, they're very welcome. But I've seen some dogs that I feel are a little not so well-behaved, and they can be annoying. Do you think that this is true, that dogs take on the personality of their owner?
110%. This dog wasn't.
See, some people say that's just a myth.
No, this dog wasn't as nosy as he was until I came along into his life. I also think we take on the personalities of the dog that we find. I think there's something in us. Well,
I don't know about that, Carol.
I think I tend to be an inquisitive person, a spunky person. I love to be around people, and if you didn't know, I was talking about myself. That exactly describes Dexter. So
Dexter is her dog.
Exactly. And I just think that we look for the dogs that are going to complement us, but also act a lot like us.
So your advice to me, if I make the decision, I tell you, I'm really not totally there yet. Kirby's there, but my daughter Kirby, who's 24, she doesn't live with me. So I would be the one doing all the work. What do you think should be the best thing I should consider? High-rise building, crazy schedule, size of the dog. What do you think that I should be? I am fascinated by your dog. He is so darn cute.
And
I want him.
There you go.
Is he potty trained already?
He is. He learned in a week.
Gosh,
he learned in a week.
You can hear Gayle King every weekday on Oprah Radio at XM 156 and Sirius 195. Check Oprah.com for showtimes.
Live your best life on Oprah Radio.